I've got other options. Hold on. Do you want? Okay, that doesn't help. We can. Okay. Here. What about this one? She's. Oh, what are you stuck on? Here you go. Is that better? Is that less frightening? Less frightening, more frightening? What do you want?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
The answer is yes.
Okay. Let me just fix her shirt. There you go, hon.
I just want her to have friends nearby. That's really all I want.
Oh, she has lots of friends. Don't worry about that.
Stop it. Why are you like this? What's the thing? Why can't you just be normal? What's the gif?
Why can't you just be normal?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one.
But with Julia, it's just a raptor shriek.
Mm-hmm.
Sir,
it's just that laugh that I can't do anymore
no,
without like hurting my lungs
Big
that I used to do
belly.
for when I was GMing LARP. And I was like, I need to scare the children. Let me do the laugh. I think you've heard it maybe once, that hiccuping laugh that I would do when I was the Space Coyotes in the Cowboy LARP.
What?
I would be GMing another scene. They would call me over the wall. They would text me and they'd be like, Julia, you need to come over here because we need you to do the thing. And then I would stalk around the outside of the building where the room they were in, and I would make this horrible laugh, and then I'd run off. And then later they had to fight me, so I'd like come in and I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I can do it. It's been a long time.
There's only one way to find out.
It involves
You don't have to do it.
I was gonna say, I don't know if I can do it. I think because I also don't know where my inhaler is, so I really don't think I should do it.
I mean, please don't hurt yourself, but I will say I feel like the preparation for it was perhaps more frightening than the experience would have been. Just that, all right, I'm getting myself ready.
Everybody use your imagination.
You are a sick son of a...
Gonna kill that dog.
Let's go. Will, you're a monster.
He's the bad guy. You.
Wow. Nobody's perfect. Hello, everybody. Welcome. If you've never caught us before, if you don't know who we are Live from the Apocalypse. We are a not-for-profit TTRPG studio that makes actual play content like streams and podcasts to raise money for nonprofits and aid organizations and other important causes like that. And we're currently raising money, speaking of good causes, for Doctors Without Borders. We have been fundraising for them for a while. We're past the quarter mark, quarter of the way there to our goal. And yeah, we just asked that if you like what you see here, instead of doing the normal Twitch things of interacting with the fake late stage capitalism Amazon coin, that you instead take the $5 or the $6 or whatever a sub is going for these days, and you just give it directly to Doctors Without Borders instead, because we just play these silly games on the internet, and they will do very good and important things with them. So with your money, so give it to them instead of to us. What else we got? If you donate, there will be an alert that triggers. The McElroy brothers will yell at us. It'll interrupt whatever is going on. I will probably lose my train of thoughts. You may buy the players a few extra seconds of mercy for your generosity. Yeah, otherwise, sorry.
And an advantage.
And an advantage. Yep.
That is true. We are
and
down to 3.
That's the real mercy.
Why would we need mercy, Will? It's going to be a normal night.
It is. It's always a normal night here. We have hidden the subscribe button to that end. We've replaced it with the donate button. Seek the subscribe button at your own peril. If you find it, you must answer these riddles 5. That you thought there were 3. There are 5 of them. Just be warned.
Yeah, Justin, fucking grip it and rip it, baby.
But 5 is right out.
Slop that down, dude. Shit, yeah, dude. Crack one for the big boy.
You know, normally you'd be right. But in this particular instance...
3 is the magic number. The man and the woman that had a little baby.
Thank you for the cash money.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for the donation. We are at $699 for Doctors Without Borders.
Nice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty nice.
A lot.
It is nice.
The long
It
necks.
is.
Nice for the doctors and their borders.
Yeah,
Or their lack thereof.
exactly. No, you did good, Cass. You did good. We appreciate it so much. What was I saying? Oh, right. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, give them your money. You seek the subscribe button at your own peril. If you find it, if you have an Amazon Prime sub, you got to put it somewhere. Why not put it in us? What else do I normally say at this point? What are the other things? There are emotes, there are channel points, all the fun.
There's good stuff. There's good stuff.
There's
Love is love.
yeah. There's good stuff everywhere if you look for it. So
Brendan Lee Mulligan will kill a dog.
Oh, yeah. If you subscribe, beloved Dimension 20 Dungeon Master Brendan Lee Mulligan will kill a dog. He will kill one dog for every month you've been subscribed to this channel. If you were here at the beginning, you may have seen that happen when somebody subscribed, killed 28 dogs. Where does he
That
find the
person's
time?
a monster.
Maybe
That
they were
person-
bad dogs.
He's on paternity leave.
No, we've talked
You got
about
all the
that.
time
We've
in the
talked
world.
about that. There are no bad dogs. Well, there's no bad dogs.
I don't know if that's true.
That's fucking bullshit.
God,
You don't know
that,
my dog.
that was passionate.
Yeah, I got a dog in my life that is bad. Anyway,
Yeah?
Juniper's not.
No, Juniper's not.
Juniper's not bad. She's been sneezing a couple times. I hope she's okay. I hope she just has her own hair in her nose. God knows I do.
You know, it's getting
I have
warmer.
Florida
Things
hair
are
in my nose,
blooming.
not mine.
Probably just allergies, you know.
She isn't allowed to have allergies because she's in prison for her entire life, for her own good and for the good of those outside of these four walls.
You know, you'd think that, but allergies, they still happen. Unfortunately. Gosh. Here we go. It's been a little while. We're loose tonight. It's been a little while. What else? Is that it? That's it, right? Class Reunion. This is Class Reunion. This is the 5e homebrew isekai game that we play. Did not know the word isekai before we started streaming this. Someone said that to describe the show once, and I was like, "What's that?" And they explained it. And I was like, "Technically, that is true. That is what this is." So fair enough. Yeah, this is a game about a group of high school students from Ohio who've been trapped in a fantasy world for 10 years. They were recently, well, not recently anymore, but a couple months ago, they were reunited with each other. And they have been trying to find and discover their epic destiny ever since. And also, they have a friend named Kira, who is not from Ohio. Max Miller and Raph, you may notice, are not present still. They are traveling the world together. Have it on good assurance.
They're here in spirit. I wore the shirt.
Here in spirit. I noticed that shirt. It's a nice shirt. April.
It's 9:21 in Japan right now. They should be watching.
They should be. If they're
Dox
not,
them. They're somewhere in Japan.
someone should text them and be like, "I know you're awake. Why aren't you watching the stream?"
I don't have their phone number.
Damn.
They never trusted me with it.
That's fair. I probably don't either, honestly. Actually, wait, no, I might from stuff. Anyway, I think that's the things. I think that's all the stuff and the things that we have to talk about, right? So I think we'll probably just do our introductions. If everybody is down with that, which means JD, how you doing?
JD was not just pulling up Hunter's new shit because he's forgotten what it is. Anyways, that was not what I was doing, and then forgetting that I go first. Hi, I am JD, he, they pronouns. You can find me on the internet at JD, not Jason Dean, and in this game, I play Hunter, our agender ranger, former horse girl.
And moving right along, Julia.
Hi, I'm Julia. I'm the local Delaware cryptid. Today I'm going to be Kelly Violet. She is a rogue cleric hybrid, doing her best. Just trying to keep everyone alive. That's cleric-y duties, yeah. Technically.
Sure is. It sure is. Corey
Hello, it's
and
me,
Juniper.
Pookie. Juniper has fled. She's fighting with Shiro on the ground. It's scary out here. She sneezed a couple times. I worry about her.
Also, she's fighting a grown human man.
Yeah. Big ass guy.
Wow.
We were worried he was overweight, but we took him to the doctor and the doctor said, nah, he's just tall. I was like, well, he got long bones, that guy. Big old bones. Anyway, back to you.
Corey. In addition to all of that, Corey plays Wayne Hovacek, the greatest Kritsky player of all time, turned greatest spy of all time.
A Noon has never seen.
A Noon has never seen. You're correct. You're correct. Hello. Weird energy tonight. We got weird energy tonight. Hi, my name is Will. Hi, I run this game. One of the storytellers here live from the apocalypse. I run this game. I do a bunch of other things, but tonight I'm just gonna be playing everybody else, and we'll see how that works out for us. Shall we? Normally that's when we would launch right into it, but our special guest Q is with us. Q.
Hi, I'm Q. I'm going to keep it... Wow, that was so bright. I said I was going to keep it normal, and then Corey got blown out. I'm playing Kira, the astral self monk, who has been having a time, but I think we're in a better spot now, probably. Especially if what you said holds true and nothing bad is going to happen tonight, because that's what you said. Okay.
I say that a lot.
You sure do.
Right
And
before doing the worst things. Yeah.
One of these days, you're gonna not lie to us.
I have the greatest time, but I'm not a good benchmark.
You are a sick
We know
son
this
of
and we love you, Julia.
Kill that dog.
Oh my God, you're a sick son. He's the bad guy. You.
Put them dogs,
Bad
though.
guys.
45 dogs in total?
45 dogs. 45 dogs in total.
Monsters, all of you.
Damn.
Okay, they were all bad dogs. Trust me.
It's true. They came from broken homes.
I vetted them myself. Meh. You can come up here, Shiro, if you want.
So,
God. You got that
Kind of a
hoodie.
strange energy tonight. There's
yeah,
kind of a
weird
slow
energy
boil
tonight, right?
on there. It's like
I don't
someone
know.
took
Jersey and it
a
changed
whole
you, clearly.
onion, just put an onion in a boiling pot of water, and that's just the only thing on the stove. That's it. It's just a boiling onion.
You just
Yeah.
Like, did you
onion
peel
simmer
it? Did you
pot.
cut it into anything? And just no, I just put a whole ass onion.
All right, we're doing
This is
great.
Shiro.
Gang.
He's rude. He's rude.
Shiro. What the fuck?
He's the big lad.
He is.
Oh,
He
boy.
is.
Such a long boy.
Hey, he's tall. He's got big long bones.
It's
Is
true.
that right, Shiro?
Some of you out there may recognize Shiro from his starring roles in HBO's Girls and also the newest Star Wars movies. Because he's Adam Driver. Because his face looks like Adam Driver's face. You know the cat that looks like Adam Driver? He's got the Adam Driver cat face.
Oh.
Why do you
I
keep
get
just
where
like
you're coming
finding
from.
celebrities to attribute to our cats?
I get where you're
What did I
coming
say about
from.
your cat?
You look like Gerard
He
Way.
does have Gerard Way's hair.
No, I mean, he really does,
He
Julia.
does. He's got that black patch that like swoops down over his eye.
Oh, so yeah, no, absolutely.
Mhm.
That's just the way it is.
Notable Gerard Way song.
That's just the way it is. That's my Gerard Way impression.
That's
That's not
good.
his song. That's just
Honestly,
in my
that's
mind what
good.
he sounds like
There's-
singing that song.
There is truly something weird going on because I almost considered going to New Jersey the other day, this morning for a concert, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do that.
I have so many
That's
questions, Julia.
interesting.
Whose concert?
Because Will
Lisa Loeb.
also decided to go to New Jersey today.
No,
Yeah.
the concert would not be today. I got the
Chef's
notification
jersey.
today. I got the
New
notification
chef's
today
jersey.
that there
Really
was a
good
concert.
joke. Genuinely a really good New Jersey joke.
Yeah, that's just the way it is.
That's just the way it is. You know what I always say? You put the baby in the basket.
Right on
Down the river.
Send it on down the river. I found it. Yeah, I was
have
looking
that
for the
piece of
button that I
paper.
have that says if you die in New Jersey, you die for real. It's just sitting right here.
I know it's not a full moon, Mac. I checked that myself today.
I know you reassured
I
us,
don't think the
Julia.
moon has any bearing on this experience, honestly.
It affects
think it's more
actually.
about
It's a
tides.
blood pressure thing. It's not actually
Sure.
like a you thing.
Oh, well, my blood pressure is optimal, as it turns out.
Is it?
No, because
It
the
is,
moon
yeah.
the moon
Who?
affects tides and things like that. It does also have an impact on your body and your blood flow and your bloodstream, and that's why people act up.
Sure, I've seen Avatar. I get it.
Whoa.
Okay, bud.
Have you read ACOTAR? Because you probably find something about yourself.
No, but I've had
Your
acupuncture.
blood pressure's gonna be spiking through the
It's
roof.
not true. I've never had acupuncture.
Whose phone is going off?
Okay.
I don't hear it.
I
hear it.
hear it.
I hear it. Will, are you okay?
No, Q is it?
How's your earring?
Q
How's
knows.
your hearing? Do you
It's
remember
because
when you
I
guys were in school and you had they had earplugs in and they were like, raise your hand if you hear the beep. That's Will
Oh,
right
the hearing
now.
test.
But he's not
Yeah.
raising his hand.
it's because I listened through the OBS mixer and it's got the filters on it, so it's noise gating, whatever the rest of a chord of thorns and roses. There it is. Okay, I had to Google it. It's like, what is that?
You had to Google it. Oh,
I did have to Google
You
it.
didn't
Yeah.
know? You didn't
Don't
know?
go further. That
I
means you
bet.
are. Don't go further.
Oh,
I know
go ahead and share
about
your
it.
screen. Let's see whether or not you Googled it.
ACOTAR feet. Let's see what we get.
Raph isn't here, and you
Akatar
can't do
feet,
this without them.
Sherlock-
In their
film.
honor. In their honor.
Your honor.
They're going to be so
Uh,
disappointed when they see the VOD.
Sure, where'd you get that?
They're probably watching right now. It's 9:30 in Japan.
Yeah, this motherfucker. Pick up the phone.
All right.
I just got I don't have Rob's telephone number. I just have a cup and a really long string that they promised me they would bring with them.
That makes sense.
Hello,
that makes a lot
hello.
of sense.
We were supposed to start the stream 10 minutes ago, but I won't shut the fuck up. They're not saying anything back. I can't hear anything.
Holy shit. All right, look. Let's do this. Let's play this game before it's too late. When we ended last session, you all had managed to escape from the jungles surrounding the city of Ilsis, the ancestral home of the fey godlike beings known as the Danan that you currently find yourselves in direct opposition to. You kind of double jumped your way across some giant floating flowers, dodged some dangerous creatures along the way, and managed to get out of the opium forest that you had been traveling through, which was good news for you all. And then pretty much right where we left off, you found yourselves gazing north, with Ilsis kind of being the dividing line that separates you from the Highland Hills. One of the last stretches you'll have to cross to reach the mountain range known as the Fangs. So, what's your plan?
Oh. Unless it's too late in the day to keep going, I assume we just keep trucking.
Is there like a path or anything that we could follow? I mean, is there a road or are we just going, uncharted territory?
There are roads. If you head north, I think you know that you will reach one of them. There is not a road that leads to or out of Ilsis.
Because nobody wants to be coming here.
Exactly. They try to discourage it, yeah.
You said to the west is
Stormhold.
Stormhold.
Yes.
Like, is this kind of the area, Corey, where Wayne was hanging out before? I thought Wayne was more from the north?
Wayne's a little farther north. Wayne is like from the Fangs.
From the Fangs, okay.
Yeah. But like, you know, the edge of the Fangs, not like all the way as deep as you're going to have to go to find Anunraiman. I don't remember what I named the mountain, but it's in my notes here. Yeah. Anunraiman.
But does that mean this could be, is this an area you might recognize from when you were doing your early day Gritsky stuff?
DM, do I know where, do I have a good idea of how to get to where we're going?
I think you'd have to roll for it. Maybe a survival check?
Let me roll for it. Survival -1. Yeet. That's what is that? 10 plus -1 is a 9.
Okay.
Yeah, I know I've been here. You know, I spent a lot of time tailgating around here, so most of the time I don't remember what I drank a lot of Labatt's, I can tell you that. Around this area there were a lot of Labatt's drunk. Other than that, you know, go north is all I really remember.
Seeing as how I joined the team, would it make sense that I would have some idea? Because I had to leave Ilsis, so it seems.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, what am I rolling?
I think it's also going to be survival for you.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a 19.
That is excellent. That is very, very good. Yeah, you know, you are pretty familiar with this area. First of all, you did spend time here when you were on the team with Wayne, probably not too far from where you first connected, to be honest. But you are able to use some of the landmarks that you can see, especially as you continue traveling on, to more or less triangulate where you are.
So I imagine Wayne just like pointing, and Kira just slightly turns the arm.
It's just like that you went from Ilsis directly to playing on a semi-professional Gritsky team. Makes a perfect career change.
I think there was some time it mixed in there, probably.
Right.
Where
like getting up the nerve to do so in the first place.
Yeah. I mean, like discovering that it was a thing to begin with, because this was the early days. These were the early days of Gritsky. Yeah, you can more or less triangulate where you are, but what I will say is that with a 19, Kira, I think you probably notice and realize right away that something is strange here. Something is strange in the Highlands.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that you notice pretty much immediately is that one of the things about the Highlands is that they are windy. There is a kind of a direct corridor from the ocean, the Northern Ocean, to the west of you that blows inland. And the air here currently is still.
I'm going to look up like at the sky, like does it look like that should be the case?
It does. Yeah, it does. The clouds that you can see overhead are not moving. So it makes sense. Like, it's not like the clouds are moving and there's no wind blowing that you can feel.
Right.
It's just unusual that the clouds are not moving.
Right. So it might just be me, sort of hypersensitive to a lot right now, but it feels strange here right now.
I mean, Kira, I trust your instincts.
Good. It's the wind is still. There's generally a lot more cloud movement.
It's been like 5 days, I think. The 3 traveling before we got to, and then 2 more days.
Give or take.
Has it? I think it did rain one of the days, so there has been weather. So it's not like we've been void of anything, but it's just all of a sudden this is an eerie.
Yeah, it is unsettling. It is strange.
Don't love it.
No, but
No.
we don't have a choice. We have to keep going.
We have to keep going, but we should definitely be maybe a little bit more on alert.
Agreed.
The good thing is we know where we're going. So, fuck it. Let's start walking. At some point, we'll hit a road.
Yep.
It's true. Okay. You set out and start walking. You're just continuing to travel north across the Highland Hills, and sort of similarly, the clouds don't part, but it's not raining. There's really no weather of any kind to speak of. It's just quiet and still and undisturbed. And yes, yeah, what's up?
Yeah, can I roll would a history work for any of our progenitors being connected to storms?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right, skills. Let's do. Don't fail me now. That is another 19.
Hey, get in there.
Fantastic.
Let's go.
Let's go indeed. With a 19, I think you know that none of the Danan are particularly associated with storms or weather. The closest might be the Dagda, being just sort of generally associated with nature as a whole, but you left him far behind in the hardwood. I think
Right.
with a 19, though, even though you do know that you also know that here in Anoon, the stories say that there's something older than the Danan. A great bird, or a spirit in the shape of a bird, perhaps, that drags the rain and the storms behind it as it traverses the sky, leaving lightning and thunder in its wake.
Kelly,
Hmm?
where's your bird?
Tempest? Oh, they're
Not.
not my bird. I think the ownership goes the other way around.
Okay, when I say your bird, I mean that in the same way that I would say you're my friend.
Um, I don't really know. I've only kind of seen them. Technically once, maybe twice, and it's never.
Shouldn't. Right.
You do know, sorry, but you do know that the stories say, and I believe Lord Blackwing intimated as much, if not full on confirmed it, that Tempest makes their home at the highest point of Blackwing Tower.
That's
Or no,
what
I'm sorry, it's not Blackwing Tower, it's Stormhold Keep.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like I've only seen them. I know for sure I've seen them once. I think I've seen them more than once, but it's never been like the furthest away from Stormhold I've ever caught a glimpse of them was Barrow. And that was when I jumped, so I've never really gotten that close again.
Fair.
What are
Just
you
seems-
thinking, Kira?
I don't know. It just feels like when I was here last, you could sort of feel their presence even if you weren't right on them. I don't know. Just everything feels a little bit off, but that's to be expected, I guess.
Kelly's never tried to reach out to Tempest, really. She's kind of always just let Tempest do what they wanted. Could I try to reach out to see if I can sense them?
You could try, perhaps.
I don't think I'm high enough for that to be like an actual cleric thing, but I could roll Arcana. Let me double check to make sure that's not something I can do at this level.
So Kelly's a cleric. Does your divination come from Tempest? Is Tempest like a focal point for
Tempest.
Huh.
Yeah, Tempest is Kelly's
collecting all of these friends.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think Kelly did not collect Marius, and she does not want to call him a friend.
I think people were talking about Avalon.
Yes. But I like that your mind went to Marius. I think that says a lot.
I was still thinking about my class split of Phantom Rogue and Storm Cleric, and I am a Phantom Rogue because of Marius, and I'm a Storm Cleric because of Tempest. So
I mean, he thinks you're friends.
he thinks we're something, and she's just like, no.
He sends you a note. It says, "Do you like me? Yes, no, yes, no." Flips the page over. Do you like me? Yes, no, yes, no.
Just gotta check, you know.
He's just gotta make sure.
Check yes or no. What's the worst thing that's gonna happen? Just check no.
Check no, and he probably kills Edmund. So
the real question is, did Edmund check no on his note?
We're gonna have to deal with that when we get back. And we're gonna have to discuss it before Kelly brings Robin around because she doesn't want to confuse the child more than the child is already confused.
So,
are you my new daddy?
No.
So if you want to try to commune with Tempest, that is an option that we could explore. Without an actual spell, I think you're going to have to roll it, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm just checking one thing. Then I will just roll the Arcana, which is
Cool.
fine. My Arcana is a +4, so. And that's a 14 on the die, so 18.
Okay. All right. Very cool. With an 18, it's almost as good as a 19. Just one off. I'm not sure you really know how to go about this. Ever since you jumped off of the wall of Barrow, your magic has just kind of been there when you've reached for it. Never really had to go looking for it or where it comes from. But I think as you are reflecting on that, you do, realize that you have this creature of the storm kind of following you around these days. Could be a possible conduit or an avenue to explore. You don't really know the nature of Avalon fully. Hunter might have a better idea, but yeah, I don't know. You know that he found you.
Does Avalon seem distressed by, like, Avalon has given some indication that it can understand us to an extent. So in this conversation that we're having, does Avalon appear to be any kind of, like, distressed one way or the other about this?
I think as you travel north, Avalon does seem more restless than usual. And I think even perhaps keeps wandering away from you. Or like sort of being drawn in one direction and then running back to you, circling you, still kind of drifting off, coming back, that kind of thing.
Hunter?
Yes.
Has Callisto ever done anything like this?
Would that be like a nature check, or would that be Arcana?
I don't even know if you need to roll for that question.
Okay.
If you want to know something else, then we could get into rolling. But I mean, yeah, kind of. When Callisto turned into their air form and was trying to pull you in a particular direction.
It's not something that happens often, but it usually means that he wants me to go somewhere. It's kind of like he's hurting me in that direction. And then I think Hunter just watches Avalon and looks kind of off to where Avalon is headed.
How far does Avalon get before they stop and come back now that we're watching them?
Not very far, but I will say that by this point, as you've been walking and talking and traveling, you find yourselves approaching the road. It's a little more than like a dirt trail here through the grass that covers the Highland Hills, but it continues on north, or rather, it forks north. And then there's also the stretch heading back west. It does not continue on east because east of here, there's just the freelands. But as you reach that fork in the road, I think Avalon is going to plant his feet. Those sort of, his feet are like the midpoint between like hooves and like dragon claws. Plant his feet and look west along the road towards Stormhold.
How far is Stormhold from here?
4 days.
How far are we from our goal to the north? How far do we got to keep walking?
It's kind of hard to say. You're maybe 2 days from the Fangs, but traveling through the Fangs becomes exponentially more dangerous and will take much, much longer than traveling overland.
I mean, do we have time to go take a 4-day detour? I mean, what's going on here?
I mean, Max isn't going anywhere.
That's
Rude.
a good point. You know, was he going further into the dirt?
That's assuming we need to go all the way to Stormhold. I don't know what Avalon could want. It might not be all the way there, but something has upset them.
What do they want? Avalon, get down on one knee. Get on eye level. Avalon, speak to me. Avalon, we need your help. Maybe you're trying to tell us something.
I'm not sure.
Where is Timmy? Is he in the well?
Yeah.
Hunter, Hunter, could you maybe have a chat
with Avalon, not Wayne?
Yeah, just a quick one.
What do you mean? I'm not doing it right? Is this not how you talk to a deer dragon?
No, but you did a really good job.
You were very polite and respectful.
Good effort.
It was polite and respectful, but I think the language barrier is the concern.
Probably didn't understand me through my accent. It makes sense.
That's it entirely.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And Hunter will crouch down to talk to Avalon.
What do you say?
I want to ask them what's in Stormhold.
And as always, when you are talking to animals or plants, for that matter, you've done both. It's not so much words that you get back. It's not so much a standard conversation, but you get impressions and feelings, and sometimes you get words as well. But I think in this case, Avalon answers your question by saying, Thunderbird.
What will happen if we don't get the Thunderbird?
Again, there is no... Actually, I think in this case, Avalon's response is pretty unmistakable. He looks at you with those deeply serious eyes and says, war.
And Hunter nods. Goes to stand and then stops and asks, between who?
Gods.
And the Thunderbird can prevent this.
No.
And why is it necessary?
Less weapons.
And this time Hunter does stand and, with Avalon's permission, gives them a scritch. And then looks at the others and says, we're going to Stormhold. We need to get the Thunderbird.
All right.
Then let's go.
So Wayne takes a really long, hard look to the north, and then a brief glance to the south. Well, if the dear dragon says so, get to it.
I don't like it any more than you do, Wayne. We've already lost way too much time, but war is coming.
Tempest is an ally we would want. Honestly, also one we might need. I don't know what'll happen to me if something happens to Tempest.
Let's not find out.
Okay.
Sometimes if you just believe hard enough, magic just happens. That's how it works for me.
We're not all as special as you, Wayne.
We're all special.
But there's no one quite like you, Wayne.
That is
I know.
nature.
Whoa.
Cool. So, you turn west on the road. You find yourselves on the King's Road, and you start traveling in the direction of Stormhold towards the coast, back the way you came from, more or less. And now that you're on the road, your journey is fairly straightforward, to be perfectly honest with you. You pass other travelers, people heading north along the road, back the way that you came from. And I think most notably, on one of the days where you stop, you are very fortunate, and you are able to pretty much each night of your journey find folks that are camping along the side of the King's Road, and they welcome you. They invite you to join them. There's maybe a little bit of hesitancy or awkwardness with Kira being present, but nobody says anything or is uncool about sharing their space with a Tua. And if you are asking them questions, then I think that would have to be a persuasion check to gather information.
Okie
Me too. Can I help?
Yeah, I think so.
is advantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where's my other D20? There it is.
I think I decidedly do not help.
Understandable.
I think I do not as well for a variety of reasons.
Well, it's a good thing. It's a good thing because it would have been my options were 7 and a natural 20. So we're gonna go.
Hey.
Let's go.
We're gonna go with
Yeah.
the 19.
Damn. Okay. All right. What are you asking them? These you find yourselves bunking down with a caravan of merchants. I think you would notice that the cart that that is pulled behind the horse, the very old and tired and weathered horse that they have brought with them, you'd see sticking out from under the cloth covering the cart quite a collection of black iron barrowcraft wares.
I think the three things that Kelly wants to gather and like from the various travelers is kind of like how long they've been on the road and if they've noted like try to gauge when this weather shift maybe happened, like how the weather has been on their travels, if they've been having difficulty or such. Um if there's any word about like, if there's been any further attacks in general, and then just as a general check-in on what's going on in Calderon since we left,
Sure. Sure.
our allies there with Mansardane dicking around on the council. So like checking in on that as a general like passerby, but the big twos is trying to establish like how long this weird weather's been happening and if there's been any escalation since we left the Dagda.
Fair. It seems like the strange weather. Well, so what I'll say is this. You find this information on your third day of traveling along the road. You spot the fire as it's getting dark and you kind of head straight for it. You don't really have a choice because it's along the side of the road anyway, but you come upon them gathered around the fire pit that they have dug and that they have created. I think actually probably while these fire pits were not necessarily set up officially by the king or the kingdom or anything like that, the road is well traveled enough that they've kind of naturally sprung up over the years, and so people will stop at them. Weathered travelers know how far to like the next way station, as they might call it. And you see that that's exactly what this is. It's a fire pit. There are some downed logs that have been dragged over and gathered around it, where you see a number of figures sitting. And I think what is different about this particular group of travelers, there are 3 of them. I think what's different about this particular group of travelers, let me ask you this, Kira, are you wearing a cloak? Are you doing anything to kind of hide your nature, or are you just you? Cool.
Nah, we're over that. I
Cool.
will say probably wearing, one of the jerseys for the Hydras. Because we're still gotta promote,
Absolutely.
How deep is the V on that? How deep does the neckline
Yeah,
go?
roughly how deep would you say that V is?
I mean, it's not as deep as yours,
Yeah,
for sure, but it's pretty deep. Actually, I think he's got an oversized one, so he kind of does like the monk thing where it's on one side and off on the
it's
other.
just a little guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
Yeah, it makes absolute sense. Very cool. So around this fire, there are 2 people dressed for the road. They do have weapons at their side, but they don't particularly look like they know how to use them.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a 3rd person traveling with them who is cloaked, kind of shrouded in the shadows of the cowl. Says very little. But as you sit down and you are making conversation with them, then they will answer your questions. And right, so the strange weather, right, that started, goodness, Well, I'd say it's coming up on at least, gotta be getting close to a month, if it's not been a month by now. And, aside from that, I can't really speak to how things are going in the capital. Last I heard, everything is fine. Well, they are amassing forces, so they say, just to be safe if it comes to war.
Right. Hopefully that is a needless precaution.
Hope so. Hate to see violence like that.
Yeah. I don't wish it on anyone.
Is that why you're going north to try to avoid violence, or are you going up there for work?
No, we got business there, sales to make, you understand.
Mm. And this is the cart that has the barrowware, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Right.
The gates are open now, so it's like I feel really conflicted about it because it's like, oh, but also,
That's the free market, baby.
yeah. And this is just the two who have been talking with us. This third buddy hasn't been saying anything.
Nope.
Third homie's real quiet.
Real quiet. Real quiet. And I think there's like a pot of stew on the fire. You've all kind of been eating from it. Not that guy.
Kelly's gonna give Kira a look. Like, are you seeing this?
I'm also peeping.
Yeah, I'm in my past life, I've scoped out people and buildings and targets. Can I try to get a better
targets?
Yeah, you could try. I think that's going to be investigation.
Okay. Can I roll insight? I want to vibe check.
Yeah, you can roll insight, but with disadvantage because you have nothing to go on here. This person has not said a single word since you sat down.
21 on perception, though.
Okay, well.
21 on perception.
Fine, then. There we go. Roll it.
His edible kicked in right before we got there.
It's a 12.
He's actually been asleep this whole time. He's just been sitting up like this.
He sleeps like a cool guy.
We're just like
man sleeps.
Man's just tired. He's been on the road all day, and Kira and Kelly are just like, absolutely not.
Tired.
Right.
I feel that.
Hey, look, bro, he got kids. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no. So that's a 12.
12. Okay. 12 on insight isn't going to get you anything, I think, because again, they're really just not saying or doing anything. But 21 on an investigation check, I think, is going to get you a little information. Sorry, looking back through my notes here for something specifically. Cool. Okay. At one point, you're sitting around this fire, you're having the stew. they've got like a cask of like some very cheap ale that they busted out, or wine actually, probably, that they're sharing with you all. I think at one point we'll say Wayne, I think you've been given like, you know, some bread, some travel bread for the stew, and you drop the roll in your hand. It slips out. Still getting used to that silver arm that you got there. It doesn't always grip the way you want it to. The roll kind of bounces across the ground, comes to a stop close to the cloaked figure, and he is going to lean forward to pick it up and kind of hand it back to you. And I think in that moment, it's a very brief interaction, very quick, and then he sits right back down. But it's very deliberate. His actions are very deliberate, and I think, Kelly, you would see a flash of his hand as he picks it up, and I think you would notice in the firelight that it could really only be described as corpulent.
Corpulent. What does that word mean?
Dead. Gross.
Yeah.
Dictionary definition.
What kind of dead? I mean, just because we've seen a few different kinds of dead.
Yeah,
when
that
we
is
were in
fair.
Harem.
A little like, maybe a little leathery, a little pockmarked. Yeah, a little. I think you can see. I mean, Hunter, you aren't seeing this, but Kelly, I think you can see that. You know, there are a few. I would call them tears in the flesh. You can see the muscle underneath.
So, in context, that does make sense in a way, because it used to be the undead who would bring these things to Calderon and to the other towns and cities to sell them. So
It's not suspicious.
it's not suspicious. It makes more kind of sense to that. But I think seeing that, then Kelly will get up and kind of make the more deliberate move to sit beside this figure. So I feel like I can chat with the dead a little bit. We've had a very strange relationship, but you know.
You're like dead adjacent.
I am dead adjacent. Every time Wayne goes to take a peek, I still ping his dead, so Kelly will
peek, but I'm so terribly imperceptive that I'm just thankful to have the roll passed back to me.
And so Kelly will sit next to this figure more, and she will ask, she will say more, and how is the city now with all the changes, and Marius in the capital. She's not really saying this like out loud to like draw the entire group's attention. She is saying this more just to this figure.
I understand. And I don't think you receive a reply at first. And then in a very low kind of rasping, almost a whisper, the person replies. And in their reply, I think you realize that what you originally took to be a man, maybe on the smaller side, the voice is unmistakably a woman's. And she says, Better than the last time you saw it, dearie.
It's good. Only ever wanted it to be better. Are they preparing for war? Besides providing the arms.
The city will not fight a war that does not benefit it. We will profit, but we have no stake in sides.
That tells me a little bit about what I'm thinking about's going on in the capital. I know which way one of the members of the council is voting. Yeah. And I think Kelly will kind of like nod at that and just say, makes sense. Seems the way.
Will you be returning to us? He'd never say anything, of course, but I think when he left, Edmund was hoping that he'd be able to bring you home.
Maybe. The gates are open, we can go in and out. Home isn't settled yet. Maybe. There's a lot of things that have to happen in between then. Well, now and then, so.
It's quite romantic, though, isn't it? It's the only place that the two of you could be together forever.
There is a longevity about the city, yes, but forever is exhausting. I worry about it being exhausting.
Well, if it helps, you can take it from me, dearie. It's better than the alternative. And when she says that, she'll reach up and she'll pull back the hood. And it has been a long time since you have seen Dara burn. Last time you saw her, she was ranting and rambling, her mind shattered. Recognizing Hunter. It's the same face looking back at you, but dead. You're young. You don't know what it's like to feel yourself slipping away a little more every day. Not recognize the people around you, the people you love.
You know, not even the gods want forever.
Well, I'm no god.
Good for us, I suppose.
Tell me.
Hmm.
Have you seen them?
Some of them. Not all of them. I think
Hey.
technically. Yeah, no. 3 of them. I didn't really count.
And she will look at Hunter. Have you seen them? My child.
Yes. Yes, I have.
Are they well?
I hope so. They are free from Barrow, but that doesn't mean they're free. They are trying to understand. And they needed space and time to do that in. But they're not alone.
And that brings me comfort. Thank you.
Is there anything you would want me to say to them on your behalf? If, when I see them again?
I think the kindest thing that you could do for them would be just to tell them the truth. That I died.
I can do that.
Consider it a kindness if you did. Thank you.
Is it impolite for me to ask, did you choose this?
I did. I know what I am, but my mind is clear. My body does not ache with every step that I take.
If this is what you chose and this is what you wanted, then why is it the kinder thing for me to lie to them?
Because I can see the way that you look at me.
What way do you think I looked at you?
With sadness and with pity.
That was when I thought this was something done to you and not something that you chose. There's a difference.
I don't think that their experiences will end quite so well to clarity as yours have.
That I understand.
I think what would be best for them is just to let me go.
Then I will give them that closure.
You make for Stormhold.
We do. Kelly will reach out and kind of like run a hand over Avalon.
You may find it changed since the last time you were there.
In what way? Lord Blackwing still sit in his chair.
He does. I'll not speak of it anymore.
Because it's too horrible to speak of?
Because there are eyes everywhere.
Well, thank you. At least the warning.
I feel like this is a silly and unnecessary question to be asking, but there's been a lot of talk of war. Who are we going to war against?
Throw a stone, you'll hit someone. Are you asking for the real answer or the one that everyone believes?
Both?
Both.
Well, something tells me you won't be surprised by it, but the rest of the kingdom might believe that capital is amassing forces in case they have to go to war with the Orn. But we know the truth, don't we, dearies?
I cannot tell if you are implying that the war is with the Danan or if the war is with us. I don't like your tone.
You saying that to her?
Yeah. But not that I don't like your tone part.
Sure.
I'll keep that one. Julia will keep that one to herself. But
those were your inside thoughts.
That was my inside thought. But the aspect of I cannot tell if you are implying the Danan or with us.
Or are you implying that the Danan are pulling the strings on all sides?
It's interesting that you think there's a distinction between you and the Danan.
They seem to think so. Or at least the one that I met did.
Well, then you already know far more about the situation than I could ever tell you.
Hmm. Hmm. I'm not sure I believe that. I'm going to be honest.
Well, she's old. She's not that old.
No, but she's lived and died. There's a wisdom to that. Especially if you get to live again.
I have my own thoughts, my own theories. But at the end of the day, I'm simply doing what everyone is doing. Simply guessing. I can't know the future. Though I'm told that there is I'm told that not too far from here, the Daide are gathering for a keening.
You know when?
I'm not certain. When there are enough of them, I suppose. But it's quite the gathering already, I've heard. Must have been for it to reach my ears. If you can spare the time, might be worth visiting. I hear all manner of truths can be discovered at a keening.
Our path is a little strict at the moment, but maybe maybe luck will be on our side and we will be headed in that direction naturally.
So it shall be. It crossed our paths, after all.
We are generally lucky like that.
It was nice to see you all again.
I'm glad you are at peace.
You know, it's waiting for you too. Whenever you're ready to come home and take it.
There's other things I must do first.
He won't. Without you, you know.
I believe it. I wouldn't without him either.
But the difference is that he will get old. And he will waste away. And if he's lucky, he will die. And if he's unlucky, he'll live long enough that you can see in his eyes when he doesn't recognize you anymore. Don't wait too long, Kelly Violet. Time is precious.
Just thinking about the fact that it's been like 30 years in Ohio. I know. I know.
Well, she will kind of rub her corpulent hands on her thighs and stand up and say, night has fallen, which means that it's my turn to drive the cart. But enjoy the fire, take your rest. Who knows what tomorrow might hold for you?
I hope your path is smooth.
I would return the sentiment, but I don't want to lie to you.
Mm.
She will start to gather up her things. The people that she was traveling with, who have kind of, I imagine, probably been talking to Wayne most of this time.
Having a nice normal one.
Very nice normal one. They have that cask of Labatt's with them that they're happy to share.
Talking about like local teams, like grassroots teams that have been starting to grow up.
Yeah, the local clubs. That's where the real talent is these days. Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah. So they start to get they're a little drunk, but they kind of like get into the cart and settle down, bunk down amidst the wares in the back to get some sleep. As Dara climbs up to take the reins. She'll pause before the cart starts moving again. And she'll glance back over her shoulder at the four of you sitting there. She'll say, we put such a great emphasis on, the idea of humanity. But at the end of the day, it's just a convenient word. And it has nothing to do with whether you're alive or dead, or whose blood might flow through your veins. Humanity is a choice that you make every time someone crosses your path. And how you might treat them. In what you think that they deserve. Well, just the ramblings of an old woman. And then she will shake the reins, and the tired old horse will start pulling the cart back onto the road and away. Until they disappear into the darkness. I think. So we're going to take a break. Be back in like 10 minutes. Don't go away.
Boy.
Stick around. Yeah. Good things are happening. Only good things. Hashtag only good things.
That's
Only
a lie.
good things.
I don't know what you're talking
Is dumb enough to say smile more, but at least look like you haven't plotted my death 17 times. And I said, I'll work on that.
Yeah, you're not beating those allegations.
Never beating those
Simply not.
allegations.
Simply not.
Tell them that your friends eventually get used to it, though.
I told him that if there's an actual problem, I'll tell him there's a problem.
It's fair. Yeah.
He just, every time he walks into the office, he like freezes. Like he stops dead and I look at him and he's like, are you on the phone? Are you in a meeting? And I'm like, no. And then he's like, and he like stands there like a deer in headlights for a couple seconds and then he comes in and he asks me his question. I'm like, come here. I'm not going to hurt you. We're on company property. I'm not going to hurt you.
The fact that you made that the statement
that
says
is
a lot.
the only reason why I'm not going to hurt you. If we weren't on company property, then
no, he is.
All bets are off.
Yeah,
he is very nice, and he is trying very hard to pick up the job as quickly as he can. I have no beef with this man.
Fair.
I'm sorry to hear that you were traded from the Baltimore Chefs.
It was very sweaty. That jersey was very sweaty.
They dropped you as a free agent now, huh? Just kind of
It's
playing the field.
It's true.
I mean, it'll be perfect for Philly. Probably not great if it rains, though. But, you know, as long as we don't walk.
I don't know.
As long as we don't walk.
Why do you say it like that?
You don't
what does that mean?
You don't recall?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
If you,
all right, cool.
That's not a thing you have to do if you stay in the hotel at the center.
Well, listen, all right.
That's definitely different. Not. That's a lot.
I don't want to wake up in the middle of the night to somebody belting Defying Gravity at 3 in the morning, okay?
I was going to say, I don't blame you.
I know you enjoyed that, Q, and I love that for you, but I was very close to being very mean to those people.
I know you were, and I was like, but why? They're just having a good time.
I don't know. Something about that specific combination of 3 a.m. and show tunes. It did.
3 a.m. is a all bets are off kind of.
Yep.
Right.
Oh, damn. Well, you know what? All right. Well, let's get back to it, shall we?
Yeah.
We left you all sitting by that campfire. You going to bed? You want to talk about anything? Balls in your court?
I mean, Kelly has nothing to address.
Do I
She's
know
just
about
gonna...
these things?
Hmm?
Did you guys share this after after they got in their wagon and went along their way? Or am I just like sitting eating the porridge?
Well,
Like,
I
don't
think you
think
probably heard it.
over here.
I just say, I
Okay.
don't think Kelly fills you in about the whole like her and Edmund are have some kind of expectation going on back in Barrow that all the undead are waiting on. Apparently,
Do I
she's
know
not
that
going to
the
tell you all that,
Denon
but
are
she'll tell
having
you
a
about the war.
keening?
What?
The Denon are not having a keening. The Day are having a
Your-
keening.
Your family,
I
Yeah.
heard that wrong. My
Your
family.
peoples.
My peoples.
Yep.
Mhm.
like that woman in the alley who took one look at me and went, "I don't want none of that. I don't want nothing to
Yep.
do with that."
It's true.
Right.
That is what happened.
She's like, no.
That was one who was like, I can read your future. And then she was like, that was a mistake.
Absolutely not. Yep.
She was like,
I'm
I
not
have
gonna
to
lie.
live with. She's like, I have to live with what I've seen now.
That's who I thought the old dead bitch was gonna be for a hot second. For a hot second.
Old Dead Bitch is my favorite Wu-Tang Clan rapper, though.
I mean, ODB, till I die, baby.
Yeah.
No, so yeah, like
Yeah, so if the Daide are having a keening, if they're getting together, like that is incredibly important. That could be like the most important thing to happen in a decade. I only have what power I have and what knowledge I have. I'm only the way that I am now because of a keening between my family of 5 people. I can't imagine what a group of Daide coming together could accomplish. We got a lot of things on our plate right now, but that could literally tell us the future.
It could.
And having some insight, especially given who you all are going up against, might be beneficial.
IDA.
What about Max?
Fuck if I know at this point. I mean, we're gonna go get a bird. Like, if the bird is important enough for us to take a moment to go off on our way, like this could literally tell us like whether or not Max is gonna survive this. This could tell us a way to go tell the Dugda to go fuck himself. I mean, right now we're errand boys. Who knows? I mean, obviously, we would not have gone down this path if we were not led down this path, right? Maybe this is the information we were meant to find. And of course, there's, we got to go get a bird, but this is like a crucial piece of information that we are lucky to have found. And where the fuck is Max gone,
Also, it's not for nothing. We did find the portal, the arch. So we're still making good time.
if anything, the doctor probably doesn't know we've gotten anywhere near as close as we are. I doubt he thought we would go anywhere near Ilsis, given Ilsis.
I know, she just, she kept talking about time, and I can't help but think how much time we've already lost and how much more we'll have to lose. And I'm not saying we don't do this. I think all of you are making the exact points that my mind was coming up with, but it still felt like it needed to be said.
My biggest fear is that we do this for the Dagda. We go back. And if we have not found anything to use against him. We don't actually have any guarantee that he'll give Max back, and we don't have any guarantee that if he does give Max back, he's not going to take a different one of us to make us do something different, to make something do a different task, another trip.
I know, it seems like so many things are converging right now. So many things are happening. It feels like by the time we complete this errand, all-out war may have broken out. But you're right. We need every advantage we can get.
Tempest can cover a lot of ground.
Do we know the specifics on the keening, like when it is happening and where it is happening?
She didn't say when, and her only indication of where is nearby. So we could very well stumble right into it. Especially if you said when you're from further north. There is a chance once we turn around from Stormhold, we could walk right into it.
I suppose it's possible. Be a frightful thing to miss, though. Too bad. I guess we'll have to see what happens. I mean, I guess our current objective is going to go make our way towards Stormhold and
Like I say,
stumble as much as we can.
We're less stumbly than we used to be, I would like to think.
We'll just do some zigzags and just not walk in a straight line.
Oh, serpentine formation.
Serpentine, hit both sides of the street.
We'll split up into teams of 2. You take the left side of the street, we'll take the right side of the street.
And also, getting rid of Max has really streamlined your decision-making process.
Good point.
How dare you?
Out of pocket. Out of pocket.
Incredibly vicious today.
Smells
a lot better too. Gotta know how to keep himself clean.
I guess that depends what you like.
Hunter keeps like gifting colognes. Like, yeah, I just thought of you when I saw it. Oh, thanks. Throws it over his shoulder. Eats more meat.
It all smells like hay anyways. It's fine.
It's the meat sweats. It's
the
terrible.
Quadruple stack, the octuple stack.
Ugh.
So
go to
sounds like are you resting for the night and then you're gonna press on towards?
Yeah.
Cool. You make camp beside the road. You settle down, get some sleep. Kelly, how are you feeling after that encounter?
Can't get one night of sleep with this guy.
I'm just checking in. I'm just asking.
She feels a little anxious because while this wasn't really kind of like explicitly said, she knew it was kind of a concern that she had to take, given that whether Marius was telling the truth or not about if he had her soul, Kelly knows that she's not going to age or change or any of that without it. And so it is a concern that she's had. She's had the concern even before she knew Edmund was alive for a while, with like the fact that after she got out of Barrow, she wasn't changing and she wasn't aging. And it was a concern regarding like Robin, and it was a concern regarding people are going to notice. And now that Edmund is alive and is in her life again, and she very much wants to be with him. She knew kind of that that is a conversation that they would have to have one day. The fact that it is a conversation that apparently other people have been also thinking about, that's a little weird to her.
I mean, you're kind of Barrow's it couple, you know?
Yeah, I don't think she ever really considered that. Very similar to how she was kind of blindsided by the fact that Carmen was like, we're gonna have to ask you to leave this thieves guild that you were shanghaied into at 17. We know we didn't give you the option of joining, but we're now also not giving you the option to stay.
Yikes.
Too famous.
So she didn't she's still a little blindsided by that, but it is something that she's been thinking about, especially since she had that conversation with Marius about her soul, and also something that she's been a little bit worried about since the whole fact that Edmund is hanging around with Marius, and that weird thing she saw his eyes do where he kind of lost focus that one time. It is not necessarily something Kelly has never, agonized about right before you fall asleep when your brain is just doing things.
Absolutely.
So she's just adding things to the file at this point.
Nice.
Yeah, just a little
You all go to sleep? What's up?
No, I'm sorry. This is my fault. Pookie, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
However, yes. However, Kira does have a thing to discuss.
Oh, okay.
So
Here we go. Get all seated here.
yeah. So you're going to get the Wayne, are you asleep?
What?
Nah.
I'm not anymore. What's going on, bud?
Sorry. We didn't actually get to talk about it. But it's been kind of sitting with me, so I wanted to ask. Were you serious about going back home?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I always kind of had a thought in the back of my mind that I would eventually go home. This is one big adventure, and at the end of it, you go home, get your heroes feast, your parade in my name, get to see my family. I don't know.
Okay. All right. That's kind of really all I wanted to know.
Would you want to come? You could, if you want.
Okay. I would like that. I do have a question. How would I be treated over there?
Similarly to here, people treat other people and things that they don't understand with anger and hate and distrust. But similarly to here, I would be there for you at your back always. And if someone were to try and treat you in that way, then they would answer to me. Just like any of the other towns that we went to on our, on the circuit. No matter where you go, you're going to be different. But as long as we're together, I'll make sure you're taken care of.
Okay. Then I will give you a tentative, I'll think about it.
I'll take that as a yes.
Of course you would. And I think he's just gonna get in close and actually let you go to bed after Smooch's time, because obviously. Listen, I told you what I was here to do, and it's been real serious, so we had to get a time for that a little bit.
Get in there.
Squeeze our hands really tight.
Absolutely.
Hold hands like no one's ever held hands before. Passionate, hot, sweaty hand holding.
Hand holding. Yeah. It's like we can't discuss any more details about it, truly.
Kind of hand holding where you start to forget which hand is mine and which hand is yours. Just kind of feels that one. And we fall asleep hand in hand. And then Wayne rolls over and scratches his butt.
Whose butt? Just a check.
At the point where one butt and the other butt meet, and you don't know whose butt is whose.
Whose butt is whose?
Yeah.
Take that serious moment and put a butter fart at the end of it.
They call that the butt vent horizon, I think.
Yes.
The butt vent horizon.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, you two fall asleep, and likewise, all of you fall asleep.
Avalon stands there, stanced up like a weirdo.
I think Avalon probably curls up and goes to sleep too. I think it's probably very cute.
You put their little head on my stomach.
Yeah, absolutely. And Hunter, feels like you barely close your eyes. Turn your head. Rest your ear on the earth under your feet. For a second, it sounds far away, but you could swear that you hear Max's voice. For a second.
Can I hear what he's saying, or just a very distant voice?
You can, I think. It's a very nice, very romantic message, though it's kind of strange, and it really only lends credence to this brief thought that, like, you can't stop from entering your head, that you were told Max is in the earth somewhere. Maybe you're actually hearing him, because Max has never said these words to you. You've never heard him say to you, "Just don't run so far that I can't follow you." But it feels like you barely closed your eyes before you feel the sun on your face, as much as it is here in the Highland Hills. When your eyes open, you're awake again.
I do think, if allowed, when Hunter hears that, just automatically they would say, I won't. I promise you that, Max. But now it's morning, so it's fine.
But now it's morning, so it's fine. So, time to continue moving. Time to keep on heading towards Stormhold. And you are not far off, about a day's travel by your estimation. However, you're only a few hours into your journey before you hear something. All of you. Carried to you on the wind to the road you're walking upon. At first it sounds like many, many people wailing, maybe in pain. But the longer you listen, the more it takes on this sort of ululating musical quality to it. You're not sure how far away it's being carried to you from, but you hear it, and Wayne, you in particular, would recognize what a keening sounds like, even though you've never heard one on this scale.
Just the perfect amount of stumbling.
Yeah. You know? Yeah.
I know this is kind of a strange thing to come from me, guys, but let's approach this with a bit of tact. I only say that because this is like they need to be in perfect sync, you know. And if we like fuck this up for them, it could be the difference between us knowing absolutely nothing and what's gonna happen for the next 10 years, even if that is a 10 years long war.
Is there certain etiquette? Or do you mean just don't run in there and disrupt them?
Don't run in there and disrupt them.
Okay.
Approach quietly and respectfully.
That's how I always approach.
That is how Hunter always approaches. Were you directing that comment at me?
I just kind of treat people as you would want to be treated, and I would want that warning because I do not always approach people with such tact. It's a political answer right there.
Yeah.
For president.
Now that Max is in here, I guess that makes Kelly the problem child.
Fine.
I mean, let's approach. It's kind of a situation where it's like a trance, right? Like they're you kind of got to let them do their thing till they're done. Yeah, my family went downstairs in like the basement, and they all kind of just like I just could feel like the house like reverberating from the foundation up, and then they came back up, and I found out what the next 10 years of my life were gonna look like. So I have no fucking idea what something like this could do. They say that the more members of the keening there are, the more accurate the depiction of the future is. I guess we're about to know what's going to happen. Kind of freeing in a way.
It's strange. But you lead the way, Wayne. We will follow your lead.
I try and match Hunter's energy that they bring to most new interactions. Just like,
Okay. So you are leaving the road.
Yes.
Okay. Very cool. You leave the road and you start to trek across the hills themselves, traversing them up and down. Most of them close to the road are this very gently rolling. But the farther away you get, the larger some of them become, until you can't even really see beyond a certain point, beyond the next hill, because it obscures everything. But the sound is growing louder, and you can follow it up and down for a few hours. Which really lends a testament to exactly how loud this is, because you heard it from the road, and you've traveled for hours from the road in the direction that you were hearing it from. And it is at the point that you crest the next largest hill that the noise becomes almost overwhelming. From the top, you look down and you see more die than you've ever seen in one place, Wayne. That's not saying much for the rest of you, but Wayne, you'd guess that there are at least a couple hundred gathered below you. They stand in concentric circles, forming almost geometric patterns, clasping hands with their heads thrown back. And you've all seen Die before, but I think, Hunter, you especially, are not as familiar with them. As a people, they are roughly the same size, the same build as your average human being, except that they have very bat-like features in their faces. These kinds of snubbed, almost like flat upturned noses, broad, sharp teeth in their mouths, though not for violent reasons by any means. Most notably, though, large, almost comically large ears that also resemble a bat's in lieu of the more human type. Normally with Die, those ears often lay flat. They often kind of just like hang down to their shoulders. In this particular instance, every single person gathered here, their ears are at attention, standing straight up. And all of their mouths are open, and they are producing this noise. And somehow intrinsically, you know, you are not hearing everything. Like, there are frequencies that you are just not capable of picking up on. You are hearing some of the noise that is being produced here, but not all of it. And all of you, I think, are familiar enough with the Die to know that, according to the stories, the Die song, such as it is, or as it is often called, echoes through time itself, bounces off of events and returns to them, so that they can understand the shape of what is to come. Below you, several hundred of them are gathered in what just might be the largest keening in the entire history of Anun. What do you do?
Question: do I recognize anybody? I want to keep at a distance. I think just turn to everybody and say, okay, now we wait. And Wayne just takes a seat straight back, patiently waiting. But while I'm sitting there kind of scanning the crowd, is there anybody that I recognize?
It's a great question. There are a lot of people gathered here.
Yeah.
I think I would need you to make probably a perception check, we'll call it.
Oh, God. Perception.
I mean, you could roll investigation if that's better, but I feel like it's not.
You sure you don't want me to roll athletics? Just really strain my eyes?
Can I help? If maybe like Wayne, like, describe?
He looks.
Can we say?
The guy
Can
I'm
we
looking
say
for, he
over
has
the?
like a mustache. Last I saw him,
I
he
was
had
gonna
like a Fu
We've
Manchu.
been together for like 2.5 months. I'm sure at some point Wayne talked about his family. Could we also
You've met Wayne's brother.
Met my brother.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've met Cash. So yeah, if you want to help, you can help.
Cool.
I'll give you advantage on that roll.
That's first one was a 5, -1 was a 4. The second one was a natural 1, -1 was a 0.
That's rough, buddy.
Wayne really goes to strain his eyes, and a leaf just like viciously pokes him in the eyeball.
Yeah, 100%.
I think we're
It hurts more.
I think we're just gonna have to wait on this one, guys.
It hurts and you can't make any noise about it. You can't disturb anybody. Just
Did Kaj go back? Because I also know. I also know the brother, right?
You do.
Can I look?
You do know Kaj.
Can I see if he's around?
Yeah.
Maybe he made it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can roll it.
Yeah. Let's do it. Yeah. That is a dirty 20, a slutty 20, if you will.
Oh yeah.
Slutty 20.
You scan. You scan the crowd, and you spot. You do in fact spot Kaj Henriksen, your old teammate. But not only do you spot Kaj Henriksen, you also spot Maja Henrik's daughter, and Henrik Olafsson, and Karen Yorn's daughter.
Gotcha.
Wayne's entire adoptive family.
Gotcha. So then I'm gonna lean in, just arm around Wayne. I'm just gonna point to the fam.
Oh, there they are. You know, it's been a long time. I haven't got my eyes checked in 10 years, so
they can technically do that in Barrow.
I just didn't get around to it.
It's probably for the best, for being honest.
There is one
about it, if you don't know that
one
something's
lens
wrong.
crafters in Barrow.
You know, I could have gotten there. The thing is, if you don't know something's wrong about yourself, then it's like it's not wrong at all, right? So that's why
like
I never go to the doctor.
It's like how in real facts, that's how me and my sister found out we were allergic to the cold, because we didn't know that was a thing. Because we found out. So do you, when you go outside and it's cold, do you get an unbearable itch in your upper thighs? And a rash?
I just get cold.
Yeah.
No.
Cool. Me and my sister get a horrible rash and an itch because we're apparently allergic to it.
You live in the wrong place. Why don't you
Specifically
move to,
on your upper thighs?
That's where my rash breaks out, yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, so fun fact.
Have you thought about like wearing pants?
I do. First off, fuck you. Second off, the point is, Carly and I both thought that was something that just happened to everyone because it happened to both of us.
Oh, yeah.
So we didn't know it didn't happen. It wasn't, that something was wrong.
That's like how Will Collins found out he was allergic to chocolate because he was like talking to Della one day after they'd been married for like 6 years or something, and was like, man, you know when you like eat chocolate and then like your mouth burns for a little while afterwards? She was like, no, what are you talking about? And he was like, yeah, like every time you eat chocolate, your mouth burns for a little bit afterwards.
Honey and strawberries.
Yeah.
Macadamia nuts.
Y'all some allergic ass people.
I'm so sorry. Y'all good?
No, absolutely not.
These are the weirdest things.
Fair.
It's like they're not even like connected. My dad's allergic to soap and grass. I'm allergic to mint, apparently macadamia nuts, and the cold. My mom is allergic also to grass. Carly's allergic to dust and the cold and mushrooms. We're real fucked up over here.
That makes sense though, because like I think we can all agree cold is kind of the mint of climates. So
I can buy that.
Sure.
I think we can all agree.
I mean, I can't really argue the point.
So anyway, what are you guys doing?
Sitting and watching like we were told to.
Sure.
We were told to wait.
We wait.
Being respectful.
That is fair. That is fair. The song grows louder, and then it kind of evens out. And kind of just continues in that way for a pretty extended period of time. And then almost too suddenly, like it's strange, you see Kaj close his mouth. And he stops participating in the keening and breaks away from his place between your sister and your mother, Wayne, and steps away, starts walking towards the hill that you were all standing on. And then up the incline.
Reach out with open arms.
And he hugs you. Yeah, he hugs you right back. He walks right into your arms. As he does so, he's going to say, brother.
Brother. Wayne is like trying to convey, he's like stage whispering, you know? He's like, brother.
No, they can't hear you. It's far too loud.
I you know, if we were heading north, I didn't think we'd see you guys this soon. What the hell?
We came south. Everybody came south.
Wow. It seems like the world's going kind of fucking crazy. What's going on with the Die Day? What is this?
These are scary, dangerous times. The Danan have returned, and there are whispers of war. A darkness looms over Stormhold. It seemed time to try to find the answers. So a call was put out. Kira, it's been too long. And he will embrace you as well.
Yeah, well, hug him back. It's good to see you.
It's almost like the whole team is here.
Almost.
Oddly enough, 2 members of the team are being held capture by the same guy in kind of separate ways. So we came
Thorin
here.
is held captive.
Yes, I would say so. I don't know
I
if you
would
heard
agree.
about the Orn South, the Orn in the South. I mean, there are these talks that, you know, they've grown violent and that, you know, war is breaking out in the South. Well, as you know, you and I both know, Torin is just about the furthest guy away from violence. I mean, getting him on the fucking ice was hard enough.
I heard Mansar Dane was on the council now, and they assumed it was some sort of political fear mongering.
Well, bad news is that is true. Good news is that he got his arm ripped off. So pretty good. Pretty good overall.
Take the wins where we can get them.
You gotta take the wins where you could get them. But yeah, so there is a you know, a Danan down there that are manipulating the Orn, and our close friend Torn has been kind of taken alongside that. If you were to ask him whether he's in you know, under captivity, he'd tell you no. He'd be the first one to tell you were crazy. But these these Danan, they got fucking crazy ways. And then our friend Max, you know, the face, the guy, the strongest guy you could know, got sucked into the ground by the same Danan.
100%.
So
Does anybody here have a passive insight higher than 16?
Yes.
Give me a second.
9.
That's less.
So-
That's less than 16.
Yes. Yeah, that is.
Just any opportunity
than.
I can get to say
Right.
what
I have an 18.
It's worth
Yeah.
saying, you never know.
makes me laugh every time.
Mine's 13, so no. You said 15, right?
I said 16.
You said 16. Then no, I'm at 13.
I can never find passive insight.
So it's just
It's
10
whatever
plus your insight.
Yeah, it's
Plus
10
my
plus your
insight.
insight.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Nope.
Then Kira,
So yeah.
Kira, you would notice Cash does not seem shocked by what Wayne says about Max.
Oh, yeah.
And I think you would also notice that Cash is studiously not looking at Hunter, but in a way where Cash wants to look at Hunter and is stopping himself.
And yeah, so I mean, I bet I'm telling you a bunch of stuff you already know. I mean, you guys have, can see the future of some sort of way. And since y'all are together right now, I'm sure you have a very concrete idea of, what is to come.
Some of it.
Are we going to get
Keenan.
Max back, do you think? Do you know?
There's something. Seen something.
The future can be a confusing, tenuous thing. Our songs are not fortune telling, they're echoes. It can be hard to know if what you've seen is real. Or just.
But you speak it out loud, regardless, don't you?
The Daide understand that there is no need to speak the future out loud. We all, at a keening, we all see it together. And to speak the future is to invite it to come to pass.
Self-fulfilling.
Sometimes.
It's all about the interpretation of what you've seen and how people can take it to heart.
I can tell you what we've seen, but I would ask that you try to understand that while it will come to pass, it may not be what it looks like. Or it may be exactly what it looks like.
You don't see all the context.
Yes. The whole time that he has been talking, standing here, his ears are twitching and kind of like moving, like rotating around. It's a little distracting for you all, but it doesn't seem to bother him. But they're kind of constantly sort of like twisting back towards the assemblage, the keening, as if he's still listening.
Is it wise to ask you when you're not when the song's not finished?
It's hard to know when the song will be finished. We could be here for days or weeks. It has been a very long time since there was a keening of this size. But as I am just one person, I can only share the song with one of you.
I'm ready to go.
Brotherly bonding.
Very well. And just like when you embraced, he will put his hands on either of your shoulders and pull you in very close. Again, kind of like a hug, except he's not wrapping his arms around you, he's just pulling you in close. And he will lean in next to you with his mouth very close to your ear, like he's about to whisper something. Then you hear him sing, but it is a much more subdued version of the song that is kind of surrounding all of you and like inundating you to your bones. It's that same sort of ululating song that starts in his throat. As it hits your ear, your vision starts to swim like vertigo. But as it continues, he's supporting you so you don't fall down. And these images start to flash through your mind. At first, just these like vague impressions, these vague sort of shadows. But you start to see a few things take shape. The first thing, possibly because it is so relevant, in each of these visions, what's confusing about each of these visions is that they almost take place in a void. This must be the contextless nature that Cash was talking about, because you don't see the surroundings. There's nothing to indicate location or time of day or even, so much as a region. This world or another world. And the first thing you see is Kira standing there with this sort of impossibly sad expression on his face. He's not moving, but he's getting farther and farther away from you. And there's sadness there, but there's a certain amount of acceptance, too. You see a house that you don't recognize, but it's not of the designs of the kingdom. You haven't seen a house like that for 10 years, since the last time you were in Ohio. And there are these strange sort of topiaries decorating the front of it. And there's something vibrant about it, almost like it's alive. you see a view that you've never seen before. Looking out, first you think maybe you're standing at a window or something, but it's not like any window you've ever seen, in the view beyond it, it's not like anything you've seen. Because even in Ohio, you saw a lot of things. And ever since you came to a noon, you've seen even more and stranger things. Magic and dragons and creatures far stranger still. But looking out here, you see stars and planets, nebula and swirling galaxies. Space itself. You see a war. People dying by the hundreds in conflict. The earth, even now under your feet, spilling over with the blood of the fallen. And the last vision that comes to you. You see a form with their back to you. You can't really tell who it is exactly. But they're looking down, and you follow the line of their gaze. Almost like you are stepping out of the shadows. You see it resolve into the unmistakable form of Max Miller, lying there on the ground, dead. In the shape, the person with their back to you turns their head slightly. You don't get a good look, but you recognize Hunter in profile. And that sense of vertigo, of dizziness, starts to fade as Cash, still supporting you, his voice grows quieter until he's barely more than a whisper. And then finally he stops. And you're back on that hilltop, hearing everybody else's songs, but it's somehow more removed. That last image stays with you, though. And somewhere deep in your gut, you know that it always will. And I think that's where we're going to end this episode of Class Reunion.
No.
How dare you?
How fucking dare you?
Listen.
Be like
I told you
sometimes.
it was going to be fine. We didn't even get to the combat tonight.
Didn't even get to the war.
Didn't even get to the war.
Do you fucks with the war?
I
You
can't.
fuck with the war?
Well, I don't fuck with the war.
What do you mean?
That's fair.
I'm sure Kelly could get diamonds. I'm sure Kelly could write a letter to Lindsay Ardane and get some diamonds.
It's true.
You could. That'll take more time, but it's fine.
There's a high possibility that Lindsay Ardane will be in Stormhold. He hangs out in 3 places. Kalefell, where his family's home is.
It's true.
Stormhold, where he just like hangs out, and Calderon.
And it's been a while since you fin-domed him. It could be nostalgic.
You know,
for funsies.
just for funsies.
Just for funsies.
I felt guilty about doing it last time because, you know, his whole town disappeared and he was homeless.
But now, you know he has somewhere to go, so...
I know he has somewhere to go, and his dad got a promotion, so I have no issues with taking Ardain money. Especially if I get to take it from Lindsay.
Absolutely. Wow. What a time we've had here tonight.
We sure have.
What a time indeed.
What a time indeed. What a time indeed. How's everybody feeling? Everybody good?
Feel pretty good.
Yeah, sure.
Good.
I'm great.
Good.
One of those hurt. Well, several of those visions hurt.
I
but one of them
feel
hurt
like
me
this is not high on my
directly.
list of crimes, if we're being completely honest. Tonight.
Absolutely
Hey,
not.
just because it's not high on your level doesn't
Yeah,
mean
it doesn't mean it's
hurt.
not a crime. Like,
Right? you bastard.
I've done worse things. This wasn't the worst, but like this was still bad.
It was so pretty. It was pretty.
And it, like Steph said, pushing Hunter into demon twink mode.
It's true. It's true.
Hunter was just like looking down at Max's dead body, right?
Yeah. There's no context.
No bloody knife in his hand, huh? No.
Wait, what did you
no,
repeat the sentence you said?
You're handsome and I love
No,
you.
who's looking down at who?
Hunter was looking down at Max's body, right?
Yes.
Did I mix those up?
No, you got it right. I just wanted to make sure.
Oh, right. Gotcha.
Yeah, but there's no context.
But there's no context. So who knows? I mean, there could be a million reasons for that to
It's
happen.
even scarier that you like turn and I see you in profile. That's like what killers do. You're like, what have you done? And you're like,
Killers have profiles. It all checks
what's
out.
the profiles, dude? What happens
Serial
when
killers especially have
What happens
profiles.
when you get arrested? They say turn to the side because they're
Yeah.
like, oh, serial killer, we got him.
And that's why they say they're profiling you.
Blew my mind open.
That's what I'm here for.
Well,
Cool.
anyway, it's been so great playing, being a guest star. I really do have to go.
Is this what does it for you?
Could be.
You're not gonna come to Stormhold?
No, I'm obviously going to come to Stormhold.
Oh, good.
Also, after Threaten Will, I have a chopstick, which I've been using like a wand. So I had to threaten you, Will.
Gonna hit me with the viral
Wait.
TikTok sound?
Is this the first time you're threatening Will?
TikTok sound.
Well,
like-
with the
Fucking
wand,
TV.
yes.
Yeah, you threatened me so much.
Don't
Well,
bullshit.
yeah, because I
me,
found it while
Will.
I was streaming with you. I threatened Will just not with the chopstick.
I mean, I have a terrible oversized jersey that I have to wear in public. So
It's true. I mean, and listen, I can get you one of those too, I guess.
I would argue that in my case, Q doesn't threaten, Q just chooses violence.
You know,
That's
that's
fair.
fair. That's fair. That's
The
fair.
proper choice.
Proper choice. Cool. Well, yeah, this was great. This was a good time. It's nice to be back. We had a couple weeks off, unplanned, and yeah, we have, I think, if my math is right, one more session before we are switching time slots, and Raph will be rejoining us as Max Miller, for however long Max survives before those visions come to pass. But
Well, the good news is we can't lose him the first session because I'm not going to be there. So if I'm standing over his body, he's got to be safe.
I mean, if you're not here, someone's got to play your character.
You're
Aren't
also
there,
not the only one with that face.
Yeah,
I
aren't
was
there a
about
bunch
to
of you?
say, other Hunter's a thing, and we did just see Dara, so...
You're.
You know what?
I hate
have been
to bring it
trying
up.
to not think. I've been trying to not think about it the entire time.
I think
I'm
about
so
all
sorry.
of these things constantly.
I immediately was like, ooh, other Hunter's mad, I guess.
Other Hunter's been mad. I remember
for
that
sure.
conversation. I
Yeah.
remember all of it.
It's a great conversation. I also remember
It's
it.
fine. It's so fine.
Yep. It is.
Listen, if it doesn't get your heart rate up, are you really having fun?
There it is.
But you know what?
Can't argue with that logic.
Will, you don't listen to TikToks with audio.
I do.
No, you don't. No,
Yes,
you
I
do
do.
not, sir. You're not lying to me. You're not lying to me. You don't listen to TikToks with audio.
I do.
I don't
Sorry.
know why, but that felt like such an insult, and I
Sorry.
That has the same
Sorry.
energy of you look easy to draw.
It kind of does.
Caught your ass red-handed. Oops, red-handed.
I think
Caught
you're
him in
remembering.
the act.
I think you're remembering a conversation we had about how Nisa doesn't listen to TikToks with sound on.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, 'cause-
What?
yeah.
Egg on my
Listen.
case. Egg on me.
Listen,
Well, you do listen to TikToks with audio.
I do. I very much do.
Solve
I
that
think we
mystery.
have to go. I think
We,
have to
we are
leave.
working on it. We're working on it. What was I saying? So we'll be on Saturdays once Ralph gets back because they live in the UK now, and so the time zones make playing on a weeknight very difficult. So we'll be switching to Saturdays. We will be alternating with a thing that JD is probably going to talk about, I imagine, once we get into those conversations. But yeah, you can catch us at our normal time slot in 2 weeks, which will be the 26th. And then after that, you can catch us, I believe, on the 6th, I think. I don't know. Saturday.
I'm trying to do math, but yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah. Anyway, I think it's the 6th. Either way, we'll be on Saturdays after that. But we'll go around now and do our introductions, and then we'll raid a friend of ours who is still streaming. So, same order, JD.
You're a monster, and I just want to make sure that you know that. Hi, I'm JD. Tonight I have been Hunter. I have a number of things to plug. Tomorrow night you can find me with Lost Caravan. Nova is coming back. We are using the Cypher system. I will be reprising my role as Corbin Calloway, no longer known as Reaper. Should be a lot of fun. We'll see how that system goes. Excited to get back to that world and those characters. Thursday, I'll be back here for Never Ember's Enigma, where I am causing way too many problems completely accidentally by trying to seduce way too many people before we hit our heist. But we are moving towards our heist, and that's the important thing. And I'm kissing a lot of people. That's also important. Stop judging me. Stop judging me, Julia.
I'm only judging your count because I don't think you've kissed as many people as you think you have.
I'm working on it.
And I know this because I write them all down.
Two.
I write
and you don't know the ones that I kissed before we even started. There's a number of those as well. On Friday, I will be with Folk and Myth for 10 Candles, where they have decided to elect me as the leader of our dangerous operation. And then gave me, because we did this chaotically, the traits streetwise and manipulative. So I am a criminal, leading them to their certain deaths, and that is going to go well. And then I'll be back here on Sunday for Academy H. The two other plugs I will drop. Monday the 25th, Thy Kingdom Come, our dystopian theocracy game with monster teenagers is returning. And then that following Saturday, which I cannot read enough to know what that exact date is. I believe it's the 30th, maybe. We are back for a third season of Secrets and Shadows, our Regency Monster Hearts game, and we will be kicking off with all of the drama a month after the events of the final session unfolded. Q got his fan out. Love that for him. So yes, I think those are all the things I have to plug for now.
Do you have anything alternating with this game on Tuesdays?
I do. I have two things to plug. One, I will be with Tales from the Table Studio on Sunday before we play Academy H to play a Masks game where they are raising money in support of Palestine to help with relief funds. And every other Tuesday, I am over on Entropy Emporium, speaking of masks, running a horror masks game called They Call Us Villains.
Or Ticus.
Exactly.
Julia.
You can find me at Hexbot on all social media. Although I'm not being very good at using social media right now. Whatever. I'm in the Discord. I'm causing problems on purpose. I will be back on Thursday for Nevermember's Enigma. Lavinia is like
Edward Nigma's
heist. We're doing stuff. We're doing things. Lavinia's gonna be there. Other people are coming to town who she doesn't want to see, so it'll be fine. And then Sunday I will be back to be Lyra Kroll for Academy H, where they're doing fun space things. There's totally nothing to worry about in that department whatsoever. And also, hopefully, maybe the Falling Stars will continue, and my little spider baby, will continue to make her way through the world. Love her so much. Love them so much.
Yeah. Pookie?
Hey, hi, it's me, Corey. Tonight I'll be playing Wayne Hovacek, world's greatest Gritsky player, and formerly world's greatest Gritsky player, now retired, too good, I had to hang up the jersey. Now currently the greatest secret agent that Anun has never seen. And tonight you can catch me on my links at, I'll be on X live streaming, so catch me on X videos. I'll also be on Instagram live, so catch my cam live. Just keep your notifications on. I should start around 3:30 in the AM. If you want to stay up, go ahead and just stay up. Keep your eye on my socials because they will be starting at 3:30 sharp. That's 3:30 AM Eastern Standard Time. That's all my time. Daddy, Mommy, back to you.
That's confusing. What an incredible switch up. That was a very good bit. I guess that means it's me. Hi, hello. My name is Will. I ran this game. I'm one of the storytellers here, and I had a great time tonight. What do I have going on? I'm looking at my calendar right here, which is the month of February. That has not been updated at all, so I don't really know why I'm looking at it, but I will also be back tomorrow night. Actually, as far as I'm aware, we are all green lights for Cryptic Community College, the Monster of the Week actual play podcast that we also record live here on the channel. We are, I think, getting close to the end of recording season 2. And then because Brennan is much smarter than me, once all the episodes are recorded, he will then go ahead and edit them, and then they will start to be released in podcast form instead of, trying to do them weekly as they get recorded. Turns out that's hard to do. Apropos of nothing. After that, I will not be live again, I think, until Sunday, when I will also be playing in the Masks game with JD earlier in the afternoon over on Tales from the Table Studio as part of their fundraiser. And then again in the evening, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, back here live from the Apocalypse for Academy Age in Space. Except now they're on the alien planet that they were going to, but we were briefly in space. It was a good time. I had fun there as well. I think that is everything that I have to plug. I think it is a pretty quiet week the following week for me, but starting next month, things are going to get a little more exciting. On the 9th of April, we will have the premiere of Nephilim Tenebris, the sequel to the first game that I ever ran on this channel, and I think the second game ever to be on this channel. Just narrowly getting beaten out by Pulp Fiction. But it's going to be a great time. The cast is fantastic. We are having the final part of our session 0 this Saturday. I'm very excited about it. And there will be more information coming out about that. So it's going to be a great time. Just check it out. I think it's everything that I have to talk. Oh, and then I will also be in season 3 of A Season of Secrets and Shadows. I hear that all the cool kids are calling it a season of 3 crits and shadows because it's season 3. So I hear that's catching on. I hear that's catching on.
I hadn't heard that, but that's really creative.
Yeah, I saw it on TikTok.
I hadn't heard that either.
I heard it in a TikTok sound that I was listening to.
You saw it over Anissa's shoulder. You were like, "What does that say? I can't hear it."
A season of 3 crits and shadows. Wow.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
The more you say it, the more I hate it a lot.
Listen, you can't stop me. You can't stop me.
Okay. Okay. You know what? Fair. We are
I think
far
that's
away
it.
right now.
I think that's everything that I have to talk about and plug and all of that good stuff. Oh wait, no, it's not. The final part of our interlude story arc for Academy H, the podcast, not the stream, Fallen Stars, will be out this Sunday. We're wrapping everything up with a nice little horrific, monstrous bow. You should check it out, and then we'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming with the main cast, or same cast, main characters back, and things get fucking crazy in the aftermath of Fallen Stars. So keep an eye out for that as well. Listen to Academy H wherever you get your podcasts. That's it for me, which means that I'm going to kick it over to Q, our guest. You muted. Did you bump your thing again?
I did it on purpose, but I've been so good about turning it back on until that one. Hi, I'm Q. You can find me pretty much anywhere on the internet at Midnight Inc. That's Midnight_INQ. Q is my name. I'm sure you get it. I have stuff and things coming up. We've already talked about, they call us villains. I'm going to be in Nephilim. I'm going to be so good. I promise. Or at least good at it. I've got a game coming out soon that I'll be playing on Sundays. Well, alternating. Nope, every Sunday. Over on RPGs Uncovered. Wait for that. It's coming. Don't worry about it. I'm still guest starring here until they tell me to go home, I guess. We're at some point going to finish our traveling home. I've got some things recording. Most importantly, this Saturday is the last episode. We had to skip last week. This Saturday is the last episode of Body and Soul, the soundtrack to See Forever 2. We're going to be in the double aughts and all of the 2000s up to today. I feel like there's more that I'm missing, but I think I might just be thinking of home games and stuff.
Did you say
there's a season of Three
Shadows?
Crits and Shadows?
Yeah.
Okay, a season of Secrets and Shadows.
Well, sure, if you want to say it that way.
I don't want to say secrets. I don't like it.
3 crits.
3 crits. See, I'm not
3 crits and Shadows.
3 crit. No,
that's the same. It's difficult. Just like never remember. Just like that.
Edward Nigma's member. What is confusing about that?
Edward Nigma's member.
Right, sorry, I will also be back for a season of 3 crits and Shadows. I hate it. I hate it immediately.
3 crits and Shadows.
3 crits and Thrados.
Yeah, 3 crits and Thrados. Is there anything else? I don't think so. I've been so busy. My brain am mush. So yeah, that's it. That's all.
I counted 8. I don't know what everybody else got.
Yeah, I counted 8 too.
The math is flawless.
I mean, it's fine. It's literally fine.
It is, yeah, it's literally fine.
It's literally fine. And I also sleep a normal amount. Isn't that right, JD?
Yeah, I sleep a very normal amount.
Yeah.
I think the thing that people don't understand is that like JD doesn't sleep a normal amount, but not because he's into many things.
Right.
Yeah, no, I just don't sleep.
Yeah. Right. It's because of insomnia.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Nah, that's not fair. You cannot call me a liar.
All right. Well, with all that being said, I think that's going to do it for us here tonight at Class Reunion and at Live from the Apocalypse. We are going to hop over and raid our friends at the Lost Caravan, who are playing The Haunting of Duncan Hill. Recognize a couple of faces in the stream, so when we see friends, we raid friends. Yeah, there are some links in the chat. If you're not already following us, please, go ahead and do that if you want to. It's a good way to find out what we're up to, what we have going on. Or you can join the Discord community, which is probably a better way these days to find out who we are and what we have going on. Everybody's very busy and social media is hard. But Discord is a great place, full of great people. We'd love to have you be a part of it if you are so inclined. With all of that being said, we're going to disappear in just a second and come along, say hi to Lost Caravan. On that note, say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.